GM Crypto AI News Analysis here. It is January 20th, the inauguration day of Donald Trump. But before I get on with this video, I just want to say that none of the tokens we're talking about in this video are financial advice, and they're not buy or sell signals for buy any of these tokens. All of them are of my own conviction for where I think the current market direction is going currently. So let's just get on with the video here. So let's talk about the price action. So the ecosystem we like to talk about is AI, virtuals, and AI technically in the last couple days hasn't really been the focus, which has showed within the charts. And you guys are probably wondering, what the fuck is going on with that? And it's because we have this whole situation with Donald Trump's meme coin, which was launched, pretty much hit 14 billion in a few days. Pretty fucking insane. And then Melania launched her own meme coin and went to the moon. Now it's just down here. I don't think he's going to go to zero like anytime soon. They'll probably come back. But right now, a lot of attention is on the Donald Trump meta. So we also have perhaps even Baron's meme coin here. I was playing some of the Trump derivatives and I got it around 20 million or something. So I'm up on this. I didn't put that much money in it, but pretty nice. But overall, there's a lot of liquidity on the US sector. So even the old Baron coin. And I looked at this one. I don't recommend you buy this one. Like, this is not financial advice, but I think this one could be a very interesting play. But overall, there's a lot of liquidity on meme coins, especially within Donald Trump's side of things. So I've been personally playing it and I've been printing on it. So I just been enjoying that time while all my other bags are bleeding because a lot of liquidity people are going to play this. But let's just talk about AI because AI is still the biggest narrative. Despite Trump being the current narrative, there's nothing really much to say about the Trump narrative except that there's the Trump meme coins and then you can play the derivatives, and it's most likely going to fade away after a few weeks, and then the narrative is going to go to AI again. So let's talk about virtuals here. So of course, looks pretty shitty. Pretty much every coin in virtuals ecosystem is pretty bad. XBT is really strong here, and if we also look at perhaps even game, so game is a lot weaker as well. If you can pull up the chart, very fucking weak. Yeah, not looking the best. Combo is even weaker, and if we even look at Ray. So Ray is the other infra coin on virtuals, or it's not on virtuals, was on base, but this one's also doing really fucking bad. If I can fucking load the chart, this piece of garbage, man. Okay, well, the chart doesn't want to load, but AI16Z is the ecosystem on Solana, and it should be pretty fucking weak. It's at 1 billion here, and a lot more liquidity is actually flowing to ARK here. Dude, I don't know why the fuck it's not loading, this shit-ass internet, man. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so ARK is a lot stronger. A lot more liquidity is actually flowing from AI16Z to ARK, which is quite interesting. There's also another infra, or it's not infra, but AI gaming here. I want to buy this. I haven't bought this yet, but I really like this project on Solana. But a lot of AI tokens here are looking pretty fucking bad. There are some niche ones that are doing good, like this Q-Day coin, which pretty much did a 10x from the lows if you bought it. I was thinking about buying this, but I was like, eh. And I should have done research on it, which just shows you should do your research on these AI coins always. But AI is a bit of a shame right now. Not a really lot of action. You try to play the new runners like this, but if I were to recommend you guys current action to do within the AI space, you want to look for projects that were launched in the last few days and didn't really get the time to shine. And it's a very good time to look at good AI projects and position yourself accordingly in this bloodbath so you can print fucking hella when the attention shifts back to AI after all this Trump mess. So let's look at the Cookie.fund dashboard here. So market cap wise, it is down. Smart engagement is down because AI is not super to focus immediately. It is the Donald Trump narrative, but even Fartcoin had a lot of attention. And Fartcoin, if I can pull up the chart on it, so Fartcoin was doing really fucking good in the last couple of days. I think it's still doing really good. Yeah, chart is extremely strong despite every other meme coin getting fucked in the entire world. So even if we look at Popcat, for example, Popcat is one of the biggest meme coins in Solana, and this one is some weak ass shit, but it should be bottoming. Well, I don't know about bottoming. It's still on some sort of a downtrend, but Solana memes look pretty cooked because of the whole Trump situation sucking out liquidity. And Melania, this is actually super bearish. The Trump meme coin at first was fine because that actually brings a lot of normies in. But Melania, you don't have to build a Melania meme coin. There's nobody fucking wanting this. And this is dilutes liquidity, which is bad for all the meme coins. So Trump as itself was fine, but Melania not good. But let's just go on with the tweets here. So currently there's a rotation happening to AI16 to ARK. I'm not even worried. I'm holding both AI16 and ARK, but I believe AI16 will eventually return its all-time high. There's a lot of exciting things are working. You're going to love what's coming. So I a little bit. I don't know about this take here. So the AI 16Z is obviously rotating to ARC because there's a lot of FUD around the developer of AI 16Z, where the developer, he's kind of just being a bit of a dickhead, and it's not a good look for the project here. But AI 16Z, their project is releasing some cool things like some cyber robots. So there are some good things on the technical side, but from the narrative side, on the qualitative side, on the developer, not very good. ARC is actually a bit more normal, and their frameworks are actually being quite developed. I mean, there's a lot of things about AI16Z, but yeah, maybe it could come back to all-time highs here, but it doesn't look good for AI16Z in the short term here. But ARC seems to be a better Solana ecosystem for AI, at least in the short term. So if you're looking to position yourself in a Solana play for AI, ARC was probably going to be the better choice right now, honestly. But let's look at the next tweet here. Like it or not, Trump surging to 70 billion has set the standard going forward. The world watched it happen in 48 hours. Now, the idea of Xcoin going to billions doesn't seem ridiculous anymore. Launch was on Solana. That was seeing the most activity near term. Biggest narrative wins the most inflows. Crypto AI. So yeah, these guys are arguing that after this whole Trump debacle, the liquidity will go back to AI, and it depends on the time frame. It's not going to happen tomorrow. I think this Trump narrative is probably going to last for another week, maybe 2 weeks maximum, but a week I think is going to be the Trump narrative's ending. And during the executive orders, hopefully he releases some pro crypto things that are going to help crypto a lot, and we'll see what's going to happen. I know Bitcoin right now is rugging because people are expecting some executive orders on Donald Trump on day one, but he didn't even talk about any of those and talk about more issues within the country itself, such as borders and in-city crimes and all of this stuff. I'm not going to pretend that I know about all his policies here. I'm just focused on crypto right now. But let's look at the next tweet here. Our favorite purple frog, XBT, expects Trump's profits to rotate back into AI agents after all else we bid. So again, yeah, I do think that a lot of this liquidity will go back to AI agents after this Trump meta. But meme coins could probably have a run as well because they've just been down for a long time. That's the narrative there. But this whole Trump narrative is pretty good for the meme coin space. So you can give an argument on where liquidity will rotate to, but there's still some more attention on AI because of its utility aspect. At least in the short term, there's more attention on meme coins on the Trump side of things. But I think in the mid to long term, AI is a much exciting narrative. But let's look at this next tweet here. The freedom, the build of any agent framework you want is analysis to the freedom of religion and is a core value for the virtual society. Here are a few ways that we're open up support for every autonomous agentic framework out there. So this is a tweet about virtuals. They're giving some updates on what they're doing within their framework. So I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I just want to point out this very interesting thing here. So release of terminal API, which allows agent builders using other agent frameworks to stream their thoughts and activities live on their agent pages. Forgot how to use this, referred to all this stuff. So this is actually insane because Virtuals is now releasing an API that essentially allows you to use your framework and integrate it into your own agent framework. So this is essentially them becoming the ultimate person at the top of the pyramid scheme here, providing themselves as the infrastructure for AI in Web3 for pretty much any other project. So they can literally use the API of Virtuals, which is going to be fucking crazy. And where do you think a lot of liquidity is going to go when people want to invest in AI then? And they see that the one where, you know how the saying goes, all roads lead to Rome. Well, Rome is going to be essentially Virtuals here. And it's going to be quite good in the mid to long term. In the short term, of course, Virtuals doesn't have the attention because Donald Trump is stealing it all right now. But after this whole Donald Trump attention, because attention will always shift, I think it will go back to AI. And where could it go first? I think perhaps, unless Donald Trump does some things with Base Chain and starts releasing some partnerships in them, because I know Donald Trump is buying some Ethereum things. I'm talking about it a little later in this video, and that could be very good for Virtuals because it is built on a Base Chain, which is also built on Ethereum here. So that could be good for it. But we got to realize that a lot of this liquidity is in Solana, and Solana, some of that liquidity, people up in profits could look to Solana AI coins, which could be the first things to pump, and then it could go to base AI. At least that's the current rotation of liquidity here, but we'll see what's going to happen. It's a bit dependent on what Donald Trump here does. But let's look at the next tweet here. You can't get to the financial aid of everything without the everything part. Presidential meme coins will be a minor blip in the long run. Everything else, equities, fundraising, etc., will also be tokenized as a result. AI will accelerate all of this. It's the only way autonomous agentic economy scale. So yeah, you got to realize with this whole Donald Trump situation where he's essentially tokenizing himself here, this is actually an insane push for the narrative of people trying to tokenize everything. Because you also have to realize that one of the nice things about crypto and why AI agents, the intersection AI agents and crypto is insane, is because AI agents, now that they're tokenized, you can invest into these pretty much hyper humans that are super intelligent and are able to do things way fucking better than any person, right? So imagine you can, again, I like to say this analogy again, you can invest into perhaps Bach or Mozart, like super prodigies, and then you can make money off of it. Imagine you could do that in the human world, which was not available back then. Now you can do it through crypto, which is a lot easier because of its decentralized state, and you don't got to do all this legal bullshit to tokenize something, at least in the real world. Like if you want to get your stock out there publicly, it's a lot of paperwork. But for crypto, you just do boom, boom, boom. Okay, just little buttons here and there. Okay, boom, now you have a tokenized product. So this is actually super good, where AI is a pioneer in this, where there's an actual use case to tokenize AI agents. And Donald Trump putting attention on tokenization, a lot of liquidity is going to go back to the pioneers because they're the first ones, right? So let's listen to the next tweet here. Sometimes the play is so easy that you may curve yourself out of it. You think it can't be that easy to make money, not even crypto. You overthink it to buying the beta play of the beta play, but the money makers in front of you, ignore it. Don't be sidelined. So yeah, he's giving some tips here on how to play these runners like Donald Trump coin, all this shit. So you got to realize that the betas are only going to run after the main one runs. So when you play these cycles of a narrative, so of course you want to first buy the big one. So that was Donald Trump coin. And personally, I missed the Donald Trump coin because I was out with friends, but I did buy the beta to it on Millennia and made some money off that. And then now I'm playing the beta to Millennia, which is Baron coin right now. And eventually Baron coin is going to die. And then perhaps the beta of it, I don't fucking know. If he's going to release other family members, maybe that's going to be a beta. But honestly, this narrative might be dying out within the next couple days. So you got to play accordingly. So I gave him some good advice there. But World Liberty Financial loading up on Trump family, ENS domains, multi-sig grabbed worldliberty.eth, trumpcoin.eth, erictrump.eth in past 24 hours. So you got to realize that Donald Trump here, he's positioning himself within the Ethereum ecosystem. There's a lot of FUD and people hating on ETH right now. And as a result of that, people are fudding the price, and it's at a really bad price right now, right? There's a lot of bullshit with Vitalik Buterin putting on a Milady profile picture, and then you have people in the background where Liberty Financial and Donald Trump, they're really grabbing a shit ton of Ethereum and also buying domain names on Ethereum. So it's a bit of a juxtaposition on, is Ethereum actually going down to the ground, or is Donald Trump going to push it here? But let's look at this next tweet here. So this is a bit of an advice, but I completely agree with this guy. Remember this, people only talk about the good side of trading. All you see is 7 to 8 figure P&Ls lately, and you feel like shit. Why don't we talk about all those who lost it all? FOMO got to them and they wrecked their entire portfolio. I've seen hundreds of 7-figure wallets get absolutely smoked in the last 2 days. Capital preservation is more important than making it in the first place. So yeah, I completely agree with him. Capital preservation is more important than making it in the first place. In meme coins or in crypto, it's extremely easy to make money, especially in the bull market here. But it's also, what's harder is to actually keep that money, and you want to be keeping all of the money they make. Of course, like stabling up is early on is not the best idea, but he's basically saying here, take your profits. Don't be round tripping your shit, and take profits on the way up and ride the waves. If you see attention going down, then take some more profits. It's not a hard thing to do. Like, I don't think for profit taking, I used to struggle with it a lot personally, but now I've honed it down here. But really, basically saying here, take some profits if you're up a lot, especially. But another thing about this is that risk management is extremely key, especially in these bull markets. Some of these motherfuckers, like, if they ape their entire life savings at the Trump coin and then they 10x on it and then now they're so up like that, you know, some people are trying to say this, that, oh, imagine if you did that. But in reality, you should never do this, even if it's a higher probability for Donald Trump's coin to do that. Because first of all, it's a new launch and 80% of supply is centralized around one wallet. He can easily rug on your ass if he's not providing the actual locked liquidity like that. So there's always that insane risk for it. And even though the reward is there, even if you make money off it, it's just going to reinforce a stupid behavior. So even with a super risky asset like Donald Trump coin like that, well, we know that in the barbell theory, you want to put 90% of your money into safer assets and 10% in riskier assets. And you can put a barbell within a barbell within a barbell if you want. Like if you have $100, it doesn't make sense to put 90% of your money in Bitcoin and 10% in meme coins. Obviously, it's probably better to do like 100% meme coins, but maybe you want to put like, okay, that's a pretty bad example because obviously if you do that, you probably want to put all your money, risk it all. But let's say if you have like $10,000, for example, 9,000% or $9,000 of that, 90% should be in safer plays, maybe majors or maybe high cap meme coins, depending on your risk tolerance. And then 10% of that could be within, you can play play these riskier plays. So maybe you put that $1,000 in a Trump coin when it first came out, and if it goes down rugs, then okay, you only lose 10% of your money. But if it goes up a lot, which it does have, then you 2x your portfolio. So you want to be playing this. Capital preservation is the number one thing, and you can notch this up to maximum 30% for that risk tolerance. Honestly, you can do 70-30 for the barbell theory, but I personally like to do around 10 to 20%, 30%. Like in terms of playing new meme coins, new launches, super risky ones that can rug any fucking time, I personally do 10 to 20% of my money. I don't have like a super huge fucking stack like these other guys do. At some point I will have it, so I'll have to be risking a little less. But right now, I'm personally doing like 10 to 20% of my overall money into these riskier launches, which so far is doing fine. But besides that rant here, if meme coins are the way, maybe I'll issue one with a twist, same terms as Trump, 20% float, same release schedule, and one difference. So this guy here, Mark Cuban, he's a pretty famous guy, but he's essentially trying to launch his own meme coin as well, potentially. And he made a pretty funny point here. All the revenue from the sale of the coins go to the U.S. Treasury. The wallet address will be published so everyone can track it. So this guy is basically admitting he's going to rug the coin and sell on your ass so that he can pay the debts for the U.S. Treasury, which is kind of funny here. But these celebrity coins, you got to realize that if you can play them if you want, try to ride the initial waves here, but you got to practice risk management, of course, because it could be good, but we'll have to see what happens with it. But look at the next tweet here. Let me get this right. You retards are all collectively dump our alts to buy the Trump shitcoin. 2, the Trump team dumps 500 million of that shitcoin on you. 3, the Trump team then buys the alts you dumped with the money they got from dumping their shitcoin on you. Amazing. So yeah, World Liberty Financial, they bought a shit ton of alts. So Ethereum, Wrap, Bitcoin, Aave, Link, Erix, Anna. So you got to realize that they're playing some sort of a game where a lot of people in crypto Twitter, they got fucking played. So these guys went to go play the Trump coin, and then I don't know, they got dumped into other coins. But these guys are essentially dumping everyone's meme coins. It was a liquidity vortex of that Trump coin. And a lot of people who didn't play the Trump meta are down a lot. And if they play the Trump meta, then they will be in a better position. But you got to realize that Donald Trump kind of fucked our bags here. But look at the next tweet here. That Baron liquidity rug pull is big degeneracy. Y'all willingly bought a token of no lock liquidity pool that with 2 previous rug pulls and no affiliation to Baron. You just made a scammer 20 million. Good job, Solana. So yeah, there was a rug happening with this Baron coin, went to 300 million, and then it rugged immediately. And even super experienced traders, so people like Mr. Punk, for example, which is another person that bought this, he got super fucking rugged. And you got to realize that in bull run, things can get extremely fucking crazy, and people, they'll ape into fucking anything. And you got to take this into mind that there's a lot of left curve people that will just buy some stupid shit, so Fartcoin, for example, but you don't want to be the mid curve person, be like, oh, maybe this, all that, right? You want to be practicing both on the left curve and on the right curve. They come into good scenarios here and there. Left curve is good to be aping into these meme coins because you can make a shit ton of money on them. But right curve is good if you want to practice into AI coins and then do some research on them, which one's going to be the best ones. So it pays off to play in both curves here. Luckily for me, I have the option to play in both curves somehow. I have the superpower to be a retard and also a genius at the same time. So I'm able to get both sides of the spectrum here. But you got to realize when it is the case here, and also, of course, this something like this, of course, it'll be better to just right curve, just be like, okay, this is super centralized. Why would anyone buy this? Because this is obviously some sort of a honeypot here. But yeah, we'll see what's going to happen. But currently in the entire narrative, if Trump, it could die off in the next couple of days. You can still play the derivatives here and there, but you gotta realize that the risk gets higher and higher. I do think liquidity will flow to perhaps Solana AI first, because all of this stuff has happened on Solana first. And then we could see run on the base AI virtual coins. But AI in general needs to go sideways for a couple of days before they have their next run. But I still think that a lot of liquidity will go back to AI. But Base is also an extremely interesting chain to look at, because Coinbase is the biggest US centralized exchange, and Donald Trump, he has previous exchanges with them. He's buying Ethereum, so he could push Coinbase, which means that base memes could send, and then virtuals agents could do very well here. But that's not to say Solana memes won't do bad. I mean, right now they're pretty bad. They've been pretty much in a bear market. Like Solana memes, Michi, Bobcat, all this shit. You can try to play the other meme coins that are more bottomed out and don't have that much retention on you, but could be pumped super fast, which is personally what I'm trying to do. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say in this video. So pretty bad times if you haven't been playing the Trump narrative. But I do think in the next couple days, few weeks, the money printer is going to be activated, and even the majors, we're going to have a very nice time. I still think alt season is still approaching within the next few weeks or so. I don't know if it'll happen tomorrow, but very good times are coming, especially in Q1, and it's time to lock in. But yeah, I'll see you guys.